How's it going, guys? Shape here, and welcome to the channel. This video is going to go over some interesting data I have been able to pull out of the PTR in terms of the relics of the past. Now, we still don't know if these are going to go live in this state, but Blizzard has been doing some updating to how much these items sell to the vendor, so it seems intentional at this point. I'm going to go over a lot of numbers and calculations, so if you don't like math, then you might want to hold on to your seats. I first wanted to go over a completely broken shuffle that is still currently in the game, and I'm almost 99% positive will not hit live in that way, and even if it does, Blizzard would most likely roll everyone's gold count back to what it was before they did the shuffle. With that said, I at least wanted to bring even more eyes on this because it is definitely a bug and could be game breaking for a lot of players. The tuxedo jacket, which is a pattern bought from a vendor and is part of the vanilla tailoring, currently sells to a vendor for 34,412 gold and only requires 5 bolts of mage weave and 3 heavy silken threads to craft. Talk about one heck of a return. There's already a Wowhead article and some other videos covering this and trying to reach out to the Blizzard dev team to make sure they are aware of it. Hats off to Samadin Plays WoW for finding this and pointing this out on his tweet to the dev team. This did somehow survive the most recent patch on the PTR, so it probably isn't a priority of theirs at the moment, but they need to be aware of it because I think the relics of the past are a great addition to the game, and if it were to remain in this state in the game, then it would completely ruin it. With that said, if it does go live, don't expect to keep your gold if you do this vendor shuffle. If somehow I am completely wrong about that and Blizzard doesn't fix this, then go ahead and let me have it in the comments below. Again, I just want to bring more eyes to this before I talk about my findings on the relics of the past. For the relics of the past, I have taken quite a bit of time doing research on how much all of the items you can craft with the relics of the past and how much they sell to a vendor for. I have come up with a cheat sheet that will show you guys the breakdown. As you can see, the gloves sell for 23 to 25 gold, the bracers and belts for 23 to 24 gold, the boots for 35 to 39 gold, the shoulders for 36 gold, the heads and backs for 35 to 37 gold, the pants for 47 to 48 gold, and finally the chest for 51 gold. Now I went through each expansion and found out the gold per item to get these findings, and it is just an average, so take these numbers with a grain of salt. The most important one to focus on is the chest, as that makes the most gold to the vendor at 51. This means you will want to find the cheapest material cost chest to do the vendor shuffle and then sell it to the vendor for a little over 51 gold with a Relic 5. Now I put all of my focus originally on the Relic 5s because it would make the most sense that the higher the relic, the higher their vendor price would be. While that might be correct, the whole issue with the relics of the past right now is the crafting time. On my last video on the PTR changes that the relics might have saved the vendor shuffles, this was brought up to being an issue, so I decided to take an even further look into relics of the past. For instance, let's say you are crafting the linen green pants. The cast time to create these pants is 2 seconds. To craft the pants, you will need 2 bolts of linen cloth. That is going to take another 4 seconds, with each craft taking 2 seconds each. To craft a relic of the past 5, that is going to take you 10 seconds. This all adds up to 16 seconds to craft each pant you are going to sell to the vendor. That probably doesn't sound like too much time, but when you are going to be doing this thousands of times, it's going to add up. Let's do the same exact thing with the Relic 4 this time. The price you can sell the Relic 4 is going to be cheaper than a Relic 5, but what is the craft time? The craft time to create a Relic 4 is only 5 seconds. That is half the time it would take you to create a Relic 5. With all of the rest of the timing staying the same, that would be per item you would be at 11 seconds overall instead of 16 seconds. This is what got me thinking if in the end it would be more gold per hour if you crafted the Relic 4s instead of the Relic 5s. This is where I went into Google Sheets and set up some formulas to help with the math on these. From our list earlier, we know the highest vendor price for the items is going to be a little over 51 gold. Let's just start with a nice even number and say we want to craft 1,000 items. This will have a vendor value of 51,360 gold. At that 16 seconds to craft each item using a Relic 5, that means it would take 4.4 hours per 1,000 items. The gold per hour behind this would be 11,556 gold. Now let's take a look at what the highest Relic 4 would sell to a vendor. The same item with a Relic 4 inserted would sell to the vendor for a little over 44 gold. That's only 7 gold per item less than a Relic 5, and to make a Relic 4 it is less overall materials, so that is something to keep in mind as well. For those same 1,000 items, the vendor value would be 44,350 gold per 1,000. This time it would only be 11 seconds to craft the item using Relic 4, and that means it would take us 3.1 hours per 1,000 items crafted. The gold per hour behind this would be 14,514 gold. Remember the Relic 5, it was only 11,556 gold per hour because of the extra 5 seconds it would take to craft each item. This is a pretty large difference in terms of gold per hour between the two relics. This actually reminds me a lot of the stone hide leather shuffle I had been doing a lot in the past, and the pants selling for a higher price to the vendor than the shoulder guards. The material requirement for the pants were actually quite a bit more than the shoulder guards. In the end, you could actually end up making enough of the shoulder guards to outscale the difference in the price to the vendor, and it would be more gold in the end if you were going to make the shoulder guards instead. Similar with the Relics of the past 5 taking 5 more seconds to craft than the Relics of the past 4, it would be in the end a better gold per hour to craft the Relic of the past 4s instead. Keep in mind I didn't add any of the cost of the materials to this because they're going to vary by server, so I wanted to get you guys some rough estimate numbers to show you that the Relic 4s will net you a higher gold per hour because of the difference in crafting time. If you were to farm out all the materials yourself, then your profits would look pretty similar to what I have already showed you, minus any vendor costs such as threads if you're going to be doing tailoring shuffles. Something else to think about is if you do have a second account that you can just kind of leave AFK, or even on a main account that you don't mind just crafting forever and occasionally checking, that the Relic 5 will make you the most profit because it does vendor for a higher price. If you are worried about your time and gold per hour, then the Relic 4 is what you will want to stick with. If you do have a second account or want to AFK on your main account, the Relic 5 will be the one to stick with because it won't really matter the gold per hour in the end, but to maximize your time and profit, the Relic 4 is the way to go. A closing thought on this is currently in the PTR, the Shimmer Scale Strikers are still vendoring on a Relic 5 for a little over 70 gold per item, but I have been told this isn't the same on the beta. If anyone has beta access and can leave a comment below to debunk this theory right away, that would be great. If this is true, then the highest will still be the 51 gold we already discussed, but if somehow this does go live in the pre-patch, then I would look into the Shimmer Scale Strikers because those do have a higher sell value to the vendor. They do, however, require more materials, so you would have to do some math on what those are going for on your server and if you are going to make a higher profit on other items instead because of the material cost. Either way, if these vendor shuffles do go live in the pre-patch, I hope you guys have already stocked up on the materials for the Relics of the Past and are ready to make some gold. Well, there you have it, guys, my breakdown of the Relics of the Past and how to maximize your efforts come pre-patch. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed the video to show some love for the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.